Hello friends, this is Alison LaRosa, Chair of the Greater Boston Choral Consortium, and welcome to our virtual annual meeting for 2019. So what do we mean by virtual annual meeting? Why are we doing this? Well, we have found that this time of year can be pretty difficult to get everyone together in person. We've all had a very busy spring performing concerts and singing for each other and having a lot of fun in the meantime. But it's time for us to take a step back, travel, relax, and this way we can all participate in the annual meeting from wherever we are, whenever is most convenient. And also the great thing about doing a video is that you can share it with other members of your choir. And it's a great way for folks to kind of get a feel for what the consortium is and does. So please do feel free to share this video with other members of your board, your choir, your artistic director, etc. We are still planning to have an in-person annual meeting. It will be on Saturday, June 22nd at noon at Church of Our Savior in Brookline. So if you're available then and want to come and mingle and also have more of an opportunity to discuss programming ideas for next year, that's a great opportunity to do so. Another very important part of our annual business is voting on our slate of new directors and officers. And you can do this virtually as well as at the in-person meeting. So to vote for the slate online, please go to our website, bostonsings.org/members. You hopefully all know the member site password by now. And on the left-hand side, you will see a section called Meeting Notice, and there we will have the link to be able to vote online. It's open now through June 22nd, so please do let your voice be heard. Just to let you know who is on the slate, renewing our officer's term for another year, that's me, Alison LaRosa, as the chair, John Salisbury for another year as vice chair, as well as Alex Spear for treasurer. And Alex is also up for a renewal of his board term. That's a 3-year term. We are also very pleased to nominate a new member at large for the board for a 3-year term. His name is Nick Adams. He's the new executive director of Cantata Singers, and we are very pleased to welcome him. You can find his bio on the online voting form. And as far as the officer bios, you can find those on the GBC website currently. That's under the board and staff section. And you'll probably notice that I did not mention a secretary as part of our slate. We are still looking to fill the shoes that were so ably filled for many years by Alison. So if you or someone you know would make a great secretary for us, we would love to talk with them further. And just so you know, new members and officers can be voted on at meetings other than the annual meeting. We would of course send that information around to all the membership, but if it's something that interests you, know that you wouldn't have to wait an entire year to get involved. So please contact me at gbccinfo@gmail.com if that is something that interests you. One of the things that we like to do as part of our annual meeting is recap the year so that we can see where we've been, what we've done, and celebrate our success as a consortium. An exciting note from this year is that on April 13th, the consortium turned 30 years old. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to our founder, Anne-Marie Lindquist, for setting us on a successful course. It was wonderful getting to have coffee with Anne-Marie earlier this fall. And as well, Anne-Marie has donated her archive of GBCC materials, early meeting minutes, press clippings, all sorts of great things that she's been hanging on to. She donated that to the organization, and we are very fortunate that Alan Lawson has volunteered to catalog all those items, and once we have a better idea of the scope, we look forward to having some sort of history on our website, and I welcome your input since so many of you have a long association with the Choral Consortium. We currently have 82 active members for the fiscal year, and that includes 6 brand new members. So thanks so much to all of our members for your participation. We also welcomed our second administrative coordinator, Lillian Deering, in September. We are very pleased that Lillian can be with us as part of a partnership that we have with one of our founding members, Cantata Singers. She works concurrently for both organizations, and I am particularly grateful for Lillian's positive energy and just for diving in and really learning all the ropes in this very busy organization of ours. So thanks very much. We also secured some grants this year. We secured an operating grant from the Boston Cultural Council, and as well we secured a project grant from Choral Arts New England through its Alfred Nash Patterson grant program, and that's going to be for a project happening in the fall, which I will tell you about a little bit later in this video. We also continued to make updates to the Boston Sings website to ensure a better user experience for our members and for the general public. Of particular note, we have just this month launched a digital ads program. This is to take advantage of our high site traffic to provide more opportunities to connect choirs with audience members, as well as to connect vendors with choirs who might be their customers. We had a lot of really fun and interesting programs this past year. We did something a little different by actually doing a summer program in July. We partnered with the Boston University Arts Administration alumni. That was a connection that was brokered by our former administrative coordinator, Bridget Dennis, who was an alum of that program. And we had a career panel event where we heard from some really interesting arts administrators around town. The panel included Michael Rodriguez, formerly of Boston Baroque. He's now actually running his own vocal talent management firm here in Boston. We also had Sarah Glidden of the Mass Cultural Council. You may know Sarah from her involvement with the Spectrum Singers. We also had Carolyn McLeod of WGBH, as well as the moderator of the panel, which was Janet Bailey. She is an arts consultant and also on the faculty for the BU Arts Administration program. And it was a really great conversation, really well attended by both organizations and held in a beautiful facility on the BU campus. In September, we kicked off the fall with a session called Welcoming Choirs, Accessibility and Inclusion. And for that, we had Charles Baldwin, who is with the Mass Cultural Council's Universal Participation Initiative, as well as Andrew Clark, who directs the choral programs at Harvard. And we talked about how we can make our choirs more accessible and inclusive for singers and audiences alike. So a very important topic. In January, we had a panel on navigating leadership transitions. That featured conductor Kevin Leong, as well as representatives from the Boston Cecilia and Boston Choral Ensemble. And they talked about their experiences being involved with leadership transitions both at the board level as well as at the music director level. And so they had a lot of great practical tips, and we had a lot of members there who themselves were going through some leadership transitions. So I hope that folks found that very helpful. In February, we had Sarah Glidden come to talk to us about guidelines for the Mass Cultural Council's Project Grants program. Those applications were due in May, and we wish all our members who applied the best of luck in that. In March, we actually had 2 sessions. The first was called Living Your Mission, and this was a really inspiring discussion with the Mystic Chorale, Coro Allegro, and Triad Choral Collective, as well as a new choir, Voices 21C, about the joys and challenges of creating a culture where everyone in the choir is fully engaged in the mission and how that mission can change over time. So that was a really interesting conversation to hear about each of those choirs' journeys. And then at the very end of March, we were very pleased to welcome Ryan Turner, the artistic director of Emmanuel Music, in a workshop on Bach's choral legacy. So we sang some J.S. Bach, we sang some Mendelssohn, some Kuhnau. It was really great fun. Planning for our 2019-2020 season is well underway. We always welcome your ideas for programming and how we can help support your choirs better. If you're not able to attend the June 22nd meeting, I encourage you to reach out via email or phone if you have a great programming idea. And also on the online board slate survey that I mentioned earlier, there is an opportunity to comment about programming there. That said, we do already have 2 programs on the calendar for the fall, and I'm excited to announce those now. One is on Saturday, October 5th. This will be a collaboration with the Boston Sangerfest Men's Chorus, and we will be partnering with them on their tenor bass vocal workshop, which will be led by tenor Charles Blandy. So more information to come on that. And we are also thrilled to announce that the prior Saturday, September 28th, the Consortium is welcoming the renowned conductor and educator Alice Parker, and she is going to do a 2-part workshop for us on her approach to using melody to guide our singing. How do we get our heads out of the score and let the melody inform and tell us what to do as singers? So that should be, I think, a really amazing experience. As I mentioned, that is a 2-part workshop. You can take either one or both parts. The morning will be a smaller, intensive session for conductors and leaders of song to really dive into the approach. And then the afternoon session will be an open sing format. And all that's required for that is a basic music reading ability. We will provide all the music for that. And so we are still in the process of determining our venue for this event. So if you perhaps have connections with a resonant and accessible space that would be available for that entire day, we would love to hear from you. So more info on that will be coming soon on the bostonsings.org website. So with that, I just want to close and thank you for your active membership in the Choral Consortium. We are only as strong collectively as we all make it together. So thank you so much. Have a great summer, and see you in September.